Hi guys, and welcome back to Movies That Matter with the Viking. I wanted to do a quick video on this Hollywood Reporter article from the other day. Now I know I already talked about this, but I want to talk about it in a different light. Now, when the news first broke, what did we all talk about? We said Zack Snyder planning new Justice League additional photography and all that stuff, okay? We were excited that he was going back to get to do the scenes that he wanted to add in 2017 or new scenes that he came up with since the last 4 years. And we got really excited about that and we kind of ignored the other aspects of this article per se. And I did as well. Since then I've read the article 3 or 4 times. And even when I initially read it, I was like blinded by, wow, they're coming back to do additional photography. I kind of ignored all the Ray Fisher stuff. So it begs me to say, like, is this a hit piece on Ray Fisher? Is Zack Snyder's additional photography actually happening in October? Or is this merely another ploy by Warner Brothers to make Ray Fisher look bad and step away from his accusations and his investigation towards Jeff Johns, John Berg, Josh Whedon, and maybe even Walter Hamada, the DC president? It really has me kind of in a way thinking that it kind of might be. Now, Henry Cavill coming out and saying that he's not planned for any additional photography. And I've said before in another video that Henry Cavill is very political. He never gives a straight answer, so we can't really believe him. But him saying that he's not lined up for additional photography is pretty interesting, And when I read this article a little bit more, when I actually break it down, to me, it doesn't really talk much about the additional photography. It merely concentrates on what's going on with Ray Fisher and Warner Brothers, even getting it wrong in the article that he's fighting with Warner Media when he's not. He's fighting with Warner Brothers. And this is what's going on. It's between Ray Fisher and Warner Brothers. A lot of this article is merely aimed at Ray Fisher and his accusations and what he's trying to do, talking about the abuse that went on set, what Jeff Johns and John Berg, and like what they were allowing, and nobody stood up to say anything, and that's why this is happening. It also goes in that the addition of photography and even the flash film could be in doubt or could be kind of impacted in a way because of what Ray Fisher is doing. So a lot of this is being pointed back into Ray Fisher's face. There's even a part in the article where it says that the Cyborg's role in the Flash film was originally bigger. Now it's not. Now it's maybe 3 or 4 scenes. And then that Ray Fisher hasn't fully signed on for the Flash film yet because there's a disagreement over pay. Now remember when Ray Fisher first came out, John Berg said that Ray Fisher didn't like the scenes or didn't like the dialogue he was given for Cyborg, and that's what the dispute on set was about. So everything from WB, from John Berg, even this article from the Hollywood Reporter, has all been aimed in a way to make Ray Fisher look bad and to make Ray Fisher back away from his claims. And maybe this is a threat from Warner Brothers in a way, saying, look, we can't stop you from doing this investigation. We can't stop you from saying these things on Twitter. But what can we do? We can stop your career to an extent. That big Flash role that we had planned for you, maybe we can't get rid of you ultimately because then that would cause too much controversy, especially maybe even in a racist tone. So we'll just cut that down completely. You want to shoot additional photography for Zack Snyder's Justice League? Well, maybe that can't happen. Maybe they're trying to stick their nose in where it doesn't belong again with Zack Snyder's Justice League when this has nothing to do with Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder wants to finish his vision, and maybe I don't think HBO Max will let this happen, but I think Warner Brothers is trying to implement this in any capacity they can to cause trouble because they didn't want the Snyder Cut coming out in the first place because it made them look bad. Only for HBO Max, only for Warner Media, only for Jason Kilar, these things are now a possibility, and Warner Brothers never wanted it. You think Toby Emmerich wanted the Snyder Cut to come out after he's the one who originally really got rid of him and brought in Josh Whedon and gave Jeff Johns all this power and really was behind those guys? You think he wants Zack Snyder to succeed? I don't know. But a lot of this is being aimed at Ray Fisher to make him look bad. And that's just my point of view, my reading of the article. Like, Ray Fisher has told us that Ben Affleck announcement of him coming back as Batman was done to get attention off what he was saying. Ben Affleck's announcement as Batman was kind of out of nowhere. Even in that article that came out about it, it said that Ben Affleck had the script for a week and he read it and then he agreed. Was it supposed to be announced at DC Fandom? Now, I know that a lot of the panels were pre-recorded, but maybe in a way that we're going to announce it at DC Fandom, and then the day before DC Fandom it's announced. Ray Fisher said that was the case where they were trying to get attention away from him. Jason Momoa, who has come out and has backed up Ray Fisher and says that Warner Brothers need to investigate this and sort out what happened, said that Frosty the Snowman story that involved Geoff Johns and Jon Berg was BS. That was made up to take away attention from what Ray Fisher was saying online. And now we have a big article from the Hollywood Reporter that only mentions additional photography in a few sentences and talks merely about what Ray Fisher is doing towards Warner Brothers and his war with WB, and how there was on-set disagreements, how he didn't like what dialogue or what scenes Josh Whedon was giving them, and that the two of them clashed. It really is making Ray Fisher out to be a problem child, more or less. And now, if you follow the Schneider Cut community, you will know what is true and who to believe and who not to believe. But if you're the general audiences, and if you're just people who weren't big Schneider Cut fans, or even bloggers who hate Zack Snyder, who don't want the Schneider Cut to come out in the first place, are reading these kind of things and love it, and then skewing it in other articles and other videos about Ray Fisher being a problem on set, and now him being a problem for Zack Snyder going forward and his additional photography. Now, I've said countless times, I believe Ray Fisher. I think he's a good guy. I believe Jason Momoa. There's so many other people who have said stuff as well. I believe them, because why would all these people make up this stuff out of nowhere when these are good people? And there's numerous stories of Geoff Johns being difficult to work with, and even on Supergirl it was the same case as well. People didn't really get on with him, and he was the reason it was delayed. That's what Grace Randolph said, and she has said multiple times as well that Geoff Johns isn't a good person and people don't want to work with him, and so many people have stories about him, so I believe him. But why are Warner Brothers so hard on with Geoff Johns that they have to protect him? Like, he's bringing negative press to their studio, so why are they protecting him so much? It's not like he's this big, massive draw like a Christopher Nolan, or bringing so much conversation like a Zack Snyder. It's Geoff Johns, a great comic book writer, but after that, what has he done that has really brought audiences out in herds to see his stuff? The Green Lantern film was a disaster. Justice League was a disaster. So I don't really see what's going on. Maybe Warner Brothers just aren't happy the way that Ray Fisher went about handling all of this. But if he handled it through Warner Brothers, which he tried to do, it would have been just ignored. Maybe Walter Hamada is just really, really good friends with Geoff Johns, and he wants to protect him at all costs, because Geoff Johns is the one who actually got him his job, was a part of that process. So maybe he's trying to protect him. Jon Berg is gone from WB. Josh Whedon is gone from WB, but Geoff Johns is still there. He's still on Doom Patrol, Stargirl, Green Lantern. I just find it all very, very weird. And Zack Snyder himself hasn't even confirmed the additional photography. So this is actually happening. I hope it is happening. I hope Zack gets to go back and do the scenes that he wants to do. But these articles, these kind of reports from the Hollywood Reporter and Warner Brothers, and then Walter Hamada's kind of half statement, it's not painting Warner Brothers in the best light for me. And it's hard for me to believe anything. It really is. If it doesn't come from Zack Snyder, if it doesn't come from Ray Fisher, any of the cast, or any of the crew, can we actually believe it? Because Warner Brothers have lied to us for so long, and they will do it again. They don't care. They're not big fans of Zack Snyder. It's HBO Max. It's Warner Media. It's Jason Kilar that's making this happen for us fans, not Warner Media, not Walter Hamada, not Toby Emmerich. Those are the guys that tried to bury the Schneider Cut over the last few years. So I don't know, guys, what to believe anymore. It's all very messy. But I stand by Ray Fisher. I believe Ray Fisher, and I can't wait for Zack Snyder's Justice League, guys. Let me know your thoughts on all this stuff that's going down. Do you think it was a hit piece on Ray Fisher? Were Warner Brothers trying to make him look bad even more and take away attention from what he is saying, and maybe using Zack Snyder's Justice League in a way to leverage for him to shut up? Let me know, guys. Give a like, comment, subscribe.